Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. Michael Bruce, the Sleep Doctor. I'm board certified in clinical psychology and clinical sleep medicine. I'm one of only 168 people in the world who have taken and passed the sleep medicine boards without going to medical school. I've been in practice for 23 years and I'm a high performance sleep coach. What this means is I teach people how to get the most out of their sleep based on my years of clinical experience. Today, I want to talk with you about 5 vitamin deficiencies and how they can affect your sleep. We're going to be talking about D, E, C, B6, as well as B12. Diet and sleep are deeply connected. The truth is, we don't know nearly enough yet about how individual nutrients impact our sleep. I chose 5 different vitamins to talk about with you today that appear to play a role in how much sleep we get, how restful it is, and how quality it is. Several of these vitamins may affect our risk of sleep disorders like insomnia as well as sleep apnea, and at least 2 of them appear to play a role in regulating our circadian rhythms. That's that 24-hour biological rhythm that controls our sleep-wake cycles. I'm a big believer in leveraging a healthy diet to improve sleep. Often, diet alone doesn't give us all the nutrients that we need. I know that supplements can play an important role in filling some of those gaps. But before you run out and add the vitamins I speak to you about to your supplement list, I encourage you to do 2 things first. Number 1, look for ways to improve your vitamin intake through your diet. Number 2, talk to your doctor. Get the dosing and the timing of the supplement intake correct. It's critical to your success, especially when it comes to sleep. Also, always consult your doctor before you begin taking any supplement or making any changes to your existing supplement routine. This is not medical advice, but it is information that you can use as a conversation starter with your physician at your next appointment. The most common vitamin deficiency is vitamin D. There is some evidence to suggest that vitamin D might help protect against becoming infected with COVID-19. It's also important for regulating mood, bone health, and helping to control inflammation. Vitamin D is catching a lot of interest for its potential benefits for sleep and for the sleep consequences that accompany vitamin D deficiencies. There's new research that is adding to our understanding of how this vitamin and the lack of it may affect our nightly rest. For sleep quality and sleep quantity, there's a growing body of research showing vitamin D affects both how much sleep we get and how well we sleep. A recent study found vitamin D deficiency linked to short sleep duration. This study found that links between insufficient sleep and lack of vitamin D to be especially strong in adults ages 50 and older. That would be me. More than half of the people included in this study were deficient in vitamin D. That aligns with other research that shows a majority of Americans may be lacking in vitamin D. One thing you may not associate vitamin D with is sleep apnea. Several recent studies have shown a connection between vitamin D deficiency and risk of sleep apnea. A lack of vitamin D may also affect the severity of sleep apnea, with lower D levels linked to more severe cases of obstructive sleep apnea in several recent studies. Some good news though, if you suffer from sleep apnea, research shows the standard treatment for sleep apnea, something called CPAP or continuous positive airway pressure, has found that long-term CPAP use is connected to a significant increase in vitamin D levels, along with significant improvements to sleep apnea symptoms. So let's talk about your biological clock timing and vitamin D, because this is where we see the largest influence on sleep, at least in part by helping regulate our circadian rhythms. Recent research shows that vitamin D may activate 2 circadian clock genes, which in turn control our 24-hour circadian rhythms. Light and darkness, we know, are the primary regulators of our internal biological clocks. Sunlight is also our single best source of vitamin D. It looks as though vitamin D may be a part of a mechanism by which sunlight helps our biological clocks and our daily sleep cycles running in sync. The aim to get 10 to 30 minutes of midday sunlight several times per week is a great idea. Sunlight, not diet, is the #1 source for your vitamin D. The body produces its own vitamin D in response to exposure to sunlight. For this reason, vitamin D isn't actually considered a vitamin at all, but rather it's classified as a hormone. Beyond sun exposure, people also receive vitamin D through foods like fatty fish, fish oils, egg yolks, as well as fortified foods like dairy and juice. So do me a favor, aim to get between 10 and 30 minutes of midday sunlight several times per week. Sunlight, not diet, is the #1 resource for vitamin D for you. The body produces its own vitamin D in response to exposure to sunlight. For this reason, vitamin D isn't actually considered a vitamin at all, but rather it's classified as a hormone. Beyond sun exposure, people also receive vitamin D through foods like fatty fish and fish oils, egg yolks, as well as fortified foods like dairy and juice. Next up, vitamin E. A powerful antioxidant like vitamin E helps maintain healthy cell function and protects cells from damage. It also supports immune health. Vitamin E's antioxidant capabilities may also help sleep and sleep-related health problems. One of the more troubling effects of sleep deprivation is difficulty with, you guessed it, memory. During sleep, including both slow-wave sleep and REM sleep, the brain processes memories and our newly acquired learning. When we're short on sleep, we can encounter problems with both short-term and long-term memory recall. Thanks to its antioxidant capabilities, vitamin E offers protection for the health and function of the brain. And research indicates that this might offer specific protection against the memory impairment from sleep loss. Interestingly, people with sleep apnea often also have low levels of vitamin E. Studies have shown that vitamin E, in combination with vitamin C and other antioxidants, can improve nighttime breathing and sleep quality in people with obstructive sleep apnea. Maintaining healthy levels of vitamin E may also protect testosterone production from the effects of sleep deprivation. Since a lack of sleep has been linked to lower testosterone levels, this can be important. We can find vitamin E in a lot of fatty foods. One of my favorites is avocados. Foods containing higher amounts of vitamin E include things like almonds, peanuts, hazelnuts, and sunflower seeds, as well as spinach, broccoli, tomatoes, corn, even soybean oils. Another antioxidant powerhouse is the vitamin many of us associate most strongly with immune health. That's vitamin C. It's also important for cardiovascular health, necessary for the body to make collagen, which is critical for healthy bones, teeth, and skin. It's pretty amazing, but vitamin C's health-promoting abilities may also extend to sleep. On its own and in combination with other antioxidants, vitamin C has been shown to improve the symptoms of, believe it or not, obstructive sleep apnea. This 2009 study showed that a combination of vitamin C, around 100 milligrams, and vitamin E, around 400 international units, taken twice daily, actually reduced episodes of apnea. Remember, apnea is that interrupted breathing that is the hallmark symptom of obstructive sleep apnea. This vitamin C and E combination also improves sleep quality as well as decreased daytime sleepiness. One of the major risks linked to sleep apnea is, of course, cardiovascular disease. People with untreated apnea are more likely to have high blood pressure, metabolic problems including obesity, arrhythmias, and other cardiovascular issues. Apnea is linked to problems with the lining of blood vessels, what's known as endothelial lining, which actually helps maintain very healthy circulation. Research indicates that vitamin C may improve endothelial function in people with apnea, potentially relieving some of the stress that this sleep disorder puts on our cardiovascular system. Low intake of vitamin C has also been connected to shorter sleep amounts. In a 2013 study by scientists at the University of Pennsylvania, they found that short sleepers, people who slept less than about 6 hours a night, consumed less vitamin C. Lower levels of vitamin C, as measured by blood, were also linked to more nightly sleep disturbance and a greater risk for sleep disorders. Similar to vitamin E, vitamin C has been shown to offer protection for the brain against, you guessed it again, memory losses associated with sleep deprivation. We all know vitamin C is found in oranges, but other citrus fruits are rich in sources of vitamin C, such as broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, spinach. Basically, anything that's green seems to have it in there. Don't forget strawberries and kiwis as well. Next up, vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 is involved in many functions in the body. It supports immune health and aids in cognitive development and function. There's also evidence that B6 aids in sleep, as well as affects our dreams. I've often talked about lucid dreams, a form of dreaming in which the sleeper has awareness of being in the dream, and in some cases can even control actions in their dream. There's always a lot of interest in lucid dreams. People are particularly interested in finding ways to induce lucid dreaming. In a 2018 study at Australia's University of Adelaide, they found that when vitamin B6 may help people increase their ability to remember their dreams. People with stronger dream recall are more likely to have lucid dream experiences as well. A lack of vitamin B6 has been linked to symptoms of insomnia as well as depression. Vitamin B6 aids in the production of the hormones serotonin and melatonin, both of which are very important to sound, restful sleep, as well as mood. There's a strong correlation between depression and sleep problems. Among people with depression, 75% or more also have symptoms of insomnia. Fortunately, not everyone with depression experiences insomnia or short sleep. However, a small number of people do experience excessive sleepiness, a disorder called hypersomnia. Hypersomnia is particularly common in teenagers as well as young adults with depression. In studies of older adults, higher intake of vitamin B6 has been connected with a lower risk for depression. So, if you're looking to include bananas, carrots, spinach, and potatoes, these are great sources of vitamin B6, as are milk, eggs, cheese, fish, as well as whole grains. However, a quick note about vitamin B6. It's always important to talk with your doctor before you start supplement use. This is especially true for vitamin B6. High levels of vitamin B6 can actually be toxic, and excessive levels of B6 have also been linked to insomnia. If you're considering a B6 supplement, it's important to work with your doctor to find the right dose of your vitamin. Next up, vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is important for brain function, supporting cardiovascular health, including red blood cell formation, and in supporting DNA activity. The role of vitamin B12 is actually quite interesting. Several studies have demonstrated that this vitamin is involved in regulating our sleep-wake cycles by helping to keep our circadian rhythms in sync. At the same time, the influence of vitamin B12 directly on sleep isn't clear in some cases. Some studies show a connection between low vitamin B12 and insomnia, while other studies show high levels of vitamin B12 are linked to sleep disruption and shorter sleep times. High levels of vitamin B12 have been connected to a lower risk for depression as well. Remember, circadian rhythm disruptions are a significant underlying factor for depression. In addition to other issues with sleep, those with depression are often unable to sleep on a routine schedule. It may be that vitamin B12 is specifically useful for people with sleep-wake disruptions, including people who also have symptoms of depression. But we need to do more research to better understand how vitamin B12 influences sleep. We do know vitamin B12 is found in animal protein dietary sources, including dairy, eggs, meat, fish, and even shellfish. Vitamin B12 is super important to ingest if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, as most vitamin B12 comes from animal sources. The closer we stick to a diet of diverse, whole, unprocessed foods, the more of these vitamins we'll pick up naturally. And don't forget to get out in the sun for your vitamin D fix. If at all possible, plan some fun activities to get outdoors these days. These are some of the simplest, most important sleep habits that we can adopt, and these are sleep habits that I practice regularly. If you want to learn more, follow me on social media. You can find those descriptions below. This is Dr. Michael Bruce, the Sleep Doctor, wishing you sweet dreams.